YouTuber bank won't let you withdraw your money. All right, let's watch it.
Today we're talking about a bank promoted by YouTubers that's now become a casino, and users can't get their money out.
What?
This video is sponsored by Yotta Save.
Yotta, Y-O-T-T-A.
Yotta Savings.
Hold up.
The Yotta Savings app, maybe you saw a couple people talk about this.
Yes, I have seen people talk about Yotta recently.
I haven't.
Daniel, my wife and I, our family has 18,000 in Yotta that we can't get out.
Over $60,000 frozen up in Yotta.
$15,440.06.
Jesus.
7,000.
That's ridiculous.
Frozen.
What the fuck?
$98,000
Scammed.
frozen in Yotta.
$98,000. 94,000. Hold up. What? $94,000. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here, dude. How do you let that happen?
$6,699.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's a disaster, and we're gonna break down what happened.
That is
Let's
a
start
disaster.
with the basics. A few years ago, Yotta Savings advertised itself as a no-lose lottery through YouTubers, where you'd get a lottery ticket
Get
by
the fuck
saving
outta here.
money
Okay, let's
rather
see.
than spending it. It's called gamified savings. Some took it beyond a sponsorship and bought equity in the company because they liked the idea that much. The most viral example of this was Graham Stephan, who claimed that I bought a bank.
I decided to invest an undisclosed amount, and now I can officially say I am a small owner in Yotta Bank.
Now these videos are deleted, as Yotta has
Yeah.
become more than a harmless savings app, and users can't get their money out. But to
It's very likely that he deleted that shit because he doesn't look like an idiot. But it's too late. Once it hits the internet, it's fucking on there.
understand what exactly happened, let's first go back to when they demanded an apology from me back in 2022. They made a brief appearance in a video called The Most Evil Business in the World, and for some reason they didn't like the cameo. They said, quote,
Yeah, of course.
given these false claims, we would like you to issue a statement in a video clarifying that your claim that Yotta is a scam is false and misleading.
Oof.
Now, I never said that exactly.
He never
so I
did say
didn't
that.
apologize, but I found the next bit a bit more baffling. They tell me, quote, you could also conduct an
Hold on, let me move
interview
this
with
down.
Adam Molis, the co-founder and CEO of Yotta, if you wish, which I found odd. Either way, I decided to today take them up on their offer 2 years later.
Yeah.
When I checked back in on Yotta and found customers' accounts have been frozen and their website looked more like a casino than a no-lose lottery. On their app, Yotta
Yeah,
now
it
offers
does look like a
roulette,
casino.
dice, blackjack that you can lose money on. Now, honestly, I was shocked by this. This is the same company that's saying play the no-lose lottery, regular lotteries are scams. They prey on innocent
That's a
people.
fucking lie,
Now they're
obviously.
offering gambling. So, of course,
There's no
I
way
reached
there's
out
a
to
no
the
lose
CEO.
lottery. There's no way no lose gambling. It's not lottery. It's gambling. Let's call it what it is. All right. It's no lose gambling, and you there's no way you can gamble and not lose. That's what's called. That's why it's called gambling.
And he told me Yotta is not actually gambling. Quote, we decided to pivot the business into sweepstakes earlier this year. Sweepstakes is not gambling. We worked extensively with lawyers in the space to build out the program. Now, I don't know which lawyer told Yotta blackjack isn't gambling, but it's time to get your money back. All Yotta is really doing is running a loophole. The CEO says you can't actually buy Yotta Cash, but this is a very sneaky claim.
Yeah.
Because one way to get Yotta Cash
You
is by
have to put money
purchasing
in it.
tokens on the app.
Which
These
is Yotta
tokens
money.
are pointless, except that they come with free Yotta Cash.
Oh.
$10, get 13 free Yotta Cash to gamble with. The more you spend, the more free Yotta Cash you get.
Of course.
It's really just a stupid loophole to claim that this is all a sweepstakes and that
Yeah.
blackjack, dice, and roulette are somehow not gambling, which is, of course, ridiculous.
So you're
but
telling me people fell for this shit? That's ridiculous, man.
most interesting, I think, is the admission from the Yotta CEO that, quote, yes, this is at odds with the initial mission to encourage savings. The savings-based business model wasn't working, so we decided to pivot. But pivot to what? To the exact thing your system was designed to fight stupid lotteries that waste people's money, and you pivot to just getting people hooked on actual gambling? Is that it? It's like me starting a methadone clinic only to pivot to selling heroin because that's where the real money is. It's utterly
Yeah.
ridiculous, and I told the CEO as much. And to my surprise, he responded asking me for help. Quote,
Of course
you
he
can
did.
make your
Let's
own
see.
moral judgment of whatever you want, that's fine, but the issue that matters is that our customers haven't been able to access their funds for nearly 3 weeks. I think you can help. And honestly, he's right. I do want to help Yotta's customers not getting their money, but I can't ignore that Yotta is a savings app that became a casino.
Yeah.
The exact thing they were fighting, and
Which
that's
is weird.
disgusting. 2, YouTubers brought people into a financial product that is now broken, and rather than address it, most of them have gone radio silent. Some are deleting their original videos. Now, of course, most of these YouTubers who promoted it had no idea Yotta was going to pivot from savings to gambling, or that users' accounts
you
would
wouldn't
be
think.
frozen. But this is all the more reason that YouTubers should not be getting in the business of promoting financial products, especially finance YouTubers. I've spoken to a lot of these people. They all tell me the same thing. Oh, I feel so bad. It's not my fault. I had no idea. And that's all fine. But when people bring up your name as an explicit reason they got into this savings account, it starts to ring a lot more hollow.
So my brother actually told me about it. I'm pretty sure he found it through the Graham video.
That would have been Graham Stephan.
Stephen Graham video.
Graham Stephan's.
Graham
Stephan video.
came out
Yeah.
with
That's a bad look. That's a bad look. That's a bad look.
a video.
Stephan, Andre Jack, guys that I like as, financial YouTubers.
Yeah, this is the reason I hold financial YouTubers to a higher standard. Overwhelmingly, I find them to be more influential. Although, I have to say again, I don't hold them or anyone else personally responsible. I hold them all irresponsible for promoting financial products. This is not like promoting Dollar Shave Club, where people get a product and that's it. If the company goes bust, it doesn't matter. Financial products are different. You are asking people to put their money somewhere. If in 5 years
And
that
save.
goes bust, people are going to remember you advertised it to them.
Yes, they
If
will.
you're uncomfortable with that, if you think your bank might blow up in 5 years, don't promote it. Shill a VPN and have a nice day. But if you insist on telling people the best place to put their money, you better not be upset when they listen. By the way, as I was editing this video, someone released a podcast sponsored by, you guessed it, Yotta.
Yotta.
This episode is brought to you by Yotta.
This is despite the fact that currently
I don't think they knew.
withdrawals are frozen.
I don't think they knew. If they would have known, they wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? Let me fix my camera. I don't think they knew. If they would have known, they wouldn't have done it.
And now, I want to pivot myself
Unless they don't give a fuck.
and talk
They
about
just took the sponsor money. They probably just did that.
those funds, which is a huge problem that goes beyond Yotta and influencers.
Yada yada.
Since early
Rada,
on,
rada.
many fintechs, including Yotta and Juno and many others, have had all their user funds frozen. Up to 200,000 accounts
200,000
are affected,
accounts.
and it's for many reasons that surprised users. See, most people saw these companies like Yotta as banks. Remember, Graham Stephan even said, I bought a bank.
Shit,
I
it's
just
like
bought
a
a
mother-
bank. But this isn't quite
Who
accurate.
almost sneezed?
These are fintech companies, not banks.
Almost
They're
sneezed,
not
oh, shit.
holding anyone's money. They're not FDIC insured. They have a bank they work with that is FDIC insured, and that's where your money is sent to. In this case, the
Okay.
main bank is called Evolve. Normally, this distinction doesn't matter, but when things go wrong, it makes all the difference. So does the distinction that fintech companies like Yotta don't work directly with Evolve. They have a
No.
middleman called Synapse. Now, I want you to think of Synapse as an adapter. From old tech to new tech, it's kind of like your iPhone dongle. Remember that? Connecting a lightning cable to a headphone jack? That's Synapse, connecting banks to fintech. And I know I'm not exactly an expert on this, so I brought in someone who is to explain what happened.
Okay.
Because the next part gets kind of confusing.
My name is Jason Mikula. I spent about
Jason
over a decade
Mikula.
in fintech and banking, including at Goldman Sachs.
Wow.
So I have some experience in the sector.
What actually has gone wrong here?
So the sort of proximate cause was on Saturday, May 11th. Synapse.
I like his little nook area where he does his little video recordings. A cool little gaming room.
Which is this
very hot room though. I bet you that shit will get hot.
technology middleware provider or banking as a service provider revoked Evolve Bank's access to what in the court filings is being referred to as the dashboard,
Okay.
which is basically Synapse's IT systems, including actual ledger information. And so when Synapse revoked access to that information on Saturday, May 11th, Evolve functionally froze all of those programs by ceasing to process payments.
Ooh.
So Evolve's decision respond to
Ooh.
Synapse revoking that access
Yeah.
is what led to users being unable to access their funds beginning on May 11th and continuing through to the present.
Yikes.
People are saying, oh, it's FDIC insured. Why isn't that working?
Yeah, so it is. End users' confusion is entirely understandable, right? One of the great successes of the American banking sector and American banking regulation is that you, generally speaking, don't have to worry about whether or not your money is safe. However, that, in this case, and it's not the only case, has engendered some confusion for end users who see FDIC insured and read that as, this is safe. My money's safe. I'm going to get my money back.
I mean, that's what you would assume, right? But what does it really mean? I think he's about to tell us.
Now, what is FDIC insurance and what does it do? It protects depositors, end users, in the event that a bank fails. A bank has not failed here, and so there is no direct role for the FDIC to step in.
The bank has not failed.
Had failed, the FDIC would step in, seize the bank, and sort of figure out the next steps. That's obviously not what's unfolding here.
Right. So if you have money frozen, it is FDIC insured from a bank failure. But in this case, banks haven't failed. It's the in-between layer that has, meaning your funds are stuck until this is fixed. But it's not exactly clear when that will be because Evolve and Synapse can't agree on who owes what. The founder of Synapse says it's all in Evolve's control. We are doing everything we can to release funds. Meanwhile, Evolve says Synapse's records are wrong. Quote, recent ledgers and data do not align with the actual movement of funds in and out of Evolve. Basically, someone is lying. Or even worse,
that sounds like somebody would be lying.
About a few pennies. It's $150 million being argued about. But according to new reporting from The Information,
a little bit more than $150.
Discrepancies were known about for at least 2 years before the revoked dashboard and Synapse's bankruptcy, meaning this could have been avoided. But it wasn't, leaving a bankruptcy trustee to pick up the pieces and hundreds of thousands of accounts frozen. We don't know who owes who, what, or when. We'll find out. But all I have to say is, who cares? People need their money back.
Yeah, they do.
Were told these fintech programs
so give them their fucking
safe,
money back.
Now they're stuck.
Give them their fucking money back.
Talking to the people affected, I get it. Banking is complicated, especially as I spoke to Jason. That became super clear. But historically, this hasn't stopped us from helping the elite when complex banking problems come up. Remember Silicon Valley Bank? And look, I know it's a different story, but back then we moved heaven and earth to make sure startup founders got their money back beyond the FDIC insurance limit. Out of concern for the rich and powerful, we bent the rules. And all I'm saying is, I get that this is also not a traditional FDIC insurance case. But dare I say we give regular Americans the same level of urgency and empathy we gave to Silicon Valley founders when we decided to bend the rules for them. It's been 3 weeks with no end in sight, and these people have mortgages to pay, taxes, bills, and quibbling about the middleman or the bank whose fault it is to miss the point. Trust me, there's plenty of blame to go around in this story. But for the immediate future, let's focus on getting these people their money back before they're punished for something that isn't their fault. Because time is of the essence. Even if these people eventually get their money back, the win matters just as much, as people with frozen accounts told me.
I mean, it means everything to me. I wasn't able to pay rent for this month. I wasn't able to pay my bills.
I quit my job. I quit my career to go into business for my family, and my savings is my safety net for doing that, for making such a crazy decision. So it means a lot.
We really have no safety net. I mean, even if that money's not gone, it's gone for us for now.
My wife and I have been saving for our first home. If this takes months, years to drag out, it's going to delay our home.
I've been saving essentially for 3 to 4 years, and was saving up for a wedding and to buy a home.
Man, that's unfortunate.
As soon as this stuff happened, that was actually the first week that I needed to pay off the deposits for the wedding. So, it hurt me quite a lot.
That's sad, man. I hope these people get their money back, man. That's just not right. Of course he didn't respond. Okay, Adam Mole, CEO of Yada, responded, regulators seem to be pointing fingers at each other, and they're saying that there hasn't been a bank failure, so it's not their problem. I'm hopeful your coverage can help in that regard. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. I really hope those people get their money, man. That's really unfortunate, man. Nobody wants to deal with like having your money like locked up in something that's like you can't touch when you need it. It's your money and you need it now, you know what I'm saying? Like that's sad.